Before we begin this session, I would like to respectfully acknowledge the Turrbal Nation, who are the traditional owners of the land on which this event is taking place, and elders both past and present. I also recognize those whose ongoing effort to protect and promote Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures will leave a lasting legacy for future elders and leaders. Today in this webinar, we are going to be talking about how personal emergency alarms can help NDIS participants achieve their goals, what are the benefits of monitored alarms, how alarms can assist participants and their carers, and how we Tunstall can help you to achieve participants' NDIS goals. The presenters will be taking questions during the session, so please feel free to ask as many through the Q&A or chat option below, and our team will try to answer all your queries at the end of the session. Please note, you all will be on mute during the session, but if you're facing any technical issues or have any other related queries, please use the chat button and we will resolve your issue. Presenter for today's session are Cassie Edwards and Lynn Williams. They both are part of our fabulous NDIS team. Cassie has been with Tunstall since early 2018. She likes being able to give back to the medical care industry that has saved her life on more than one occasion. And Lynn has been with Tunstall for over 10 years, working in various departments during her tenure. She enjoys being able to help and gets great satisfaction in the knowledge that she has made a positive impact on someone else's life. Both Lynn and Cassie thoroughly enjoy working in the NDIS. Let's commence this presentation by getting to know who and what Tunstall is. And after that, we'll be introducing a short poll. So please answer as honestly as possible, because your feedback and your answers really help us in conducting future webinars. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Hermione, and welcome everybody to today's session. I'm Cassie.
And I'm Lynn.
So just to tell you a little bit about Tunstall, Tunstall began as a small television and radio shop in Yorkshire in the UK. And more than 60 years later, we've now grown to become the world's leading provider of connected healthcare solutions, pioneering new products and services and developing innovative approaches to help people manage their own health conditions and remain independent and safe wherever they choose to call home. Globally, there are offices across more than 50 countries employing over 3,000 people. In our APAC region, our customer care team assists with about 1 million calls each year. A lot of groups across Australia and Tunstall, and New Zealand rather, are powered by Tunstall. We now have our poll coming up as well, just to search for what you're looking for from this webinar. Just helps us to get a little bit more insight as well. Thank you for your poll answers. They help us plan future webinars. So I guess to narrow down on really what we do at Tunstall, everything that we do here revolves around the individual, whether that's an NDIS participant, somebody who's elderly, someone who's frail, or even if it's just average Joe off the street who just wants that extra peace of mind. With our monitoring and response, we're actually moving away from the traditional button in a box to become much more proactive. So this means that we could tell you when something is happening or before it actually occurs, rather than you having to inform us after the fact. Our alarms provide peace of mind, confidence, and independence, which enables participants to make healthier choices that they may have been unable to do prior, whether this is live independently in their home without a carer present 24/7, or in being able to take a stroll around the block unassisted. Our 24/7 customer care team is there to answer all your calls, which provides reassurance not only to the participant themselves, but also to family, friends, and carers. I guess you could say, in essence, personal emergency alarms are more of a social inclusion solution, as they provide the confidence for participants to access the community safely. We also have condition-specific management, which means that we can use or set up unique protocol and response options depending on the needs of each participant. So for example, for those that are hard of hearing, for example, we can set to communicate with them via SMS upon activation of their alarm. We're also digitally advanced with an optimal use of resources, and I guess you could almost compare that to the different types of clocks going from analog to digital. We are very much digital now. But I thought I'd hand over to Lynn, and Lynn can cover what the actual service entails. Lynn.
Thank you. You may be asking the question, so how does it work? Clients who have a Tunstall service are monitored by our 24/7 trained customer care team. These clients have the choice of a range of services, including our in-home alarms, our mobile outdoor alarms, or both, should they feel that solution suits them. We also have registered nurses available for our connected health equipment. With our state-of-the-art call handling platform, we are one of the few monitoring centres with the capacity to immediately transfer calls between our Australian and New Zealand operations. This business continuity solution ensures our life-saving service is always available in the event of unforeseen technical or environmental outages. And as you are all well aware, this has never been more relevant than what 2020 has thrown at all of us.
Very true.
Sure. Our custom program PNC provides a secure location to store relevant information about the participant, such as medical history and other information for first responders. Having this information allows our trained customer care consultants to get the right assistance, thus saving precious time in an emergency. Now, this help could be a neighbour, a relative, or our emergency services, whomever you nominate. Our customer care team also stays on the line with the participant until that help arrives, thus giving them the comfort of knowing they are not alone.
Worry no more, Lynn.
That's for sure.
So we'll have another poll coming up in just a few seconds. Again, this one is just narrowing down on why you decided to attend today's webinar rather. There's a few humorous answers in there if you, like me, like to have a little bit of fun with your answers sometimes. Feel free to answer as honestly, or I guess as dishonestly as you like.
Have fun.
Have fun. Moving on to our in-home alarms now. Now, we actually have two pools for our in-home alarms. There is a little bit of crossover between the two with some of our alarms as well, but we do have rental alarms and also alarms available for purchase. But you may be wondering, why does my client need an in-home alarm? So in-home alarms now are not much more than your stereotypical button in a box that you may have seen from yesteryear. Ours connect to other devices, which enables Tunstall to assist if your client's had a fall, if they've had a tonic-clonic seizure in bed, and with new technology, it's allowing us now to monitor proactively if something has changed in your day-to-day routine. With connection through cellular networks, whether that's 3G or 4G, and access to the secure cloud, we're able to provide accurate and relevant assistance when you need it. Lynn, you're going to talk about our Guardian.
Yes. Our Guardian 4G personal alarm is our most recent in-home alarm. This alarm has been built to the highest of technical standards for the protection of people and property and manufactured to Australian and international quality standards. The Guardian, with its latest technology, gives the client reassurance that at the press of their pendant, help is there 24/7. It also gives family members peace of mind knowing that their loved ones are being cared for. The Guardian operates over the 4G, 3G mobile network. It has its own Telstra SIM card and a power outlet, therefore does not require a landline phone for connection. There is also a 40-hour backup battery to provide connectivity during power outages.
It's pretty relevant for today with the storms that are around us here in Brisbane.
Yeah. The Guardian comes with the standard pendant. However, the alarm can be supplied with additional fixed or portable pendants, which can be worn or placed around the home as needed. There are also a couple of false pendants that go with this alarm available for purchase, and Cassie will talk about them next. The alarm can trigger up to 15 pendants, making this a solution for SDA housing and other community shared situations. You can have a fully NDIS qualified technician to install the alarm for you. However, a self-install is quite easy. There is instructions that come in the box, And also you can either look on our website where there is more information, or call any of our customer service team on 1800 603 377, and I know they would be only too willing to answer any questions. Now, you might ask, what is the cost? Our Guardian alarm can be either purchased or rented at the moment, so that makes it quite easy for you to make a choice. And it doesn't matter how many times that the client presses their pendant during that month, the fee is the same, and it's just a flat monthly fee. And also just letting you know, there are no locked-in contracts.
Absolutely.
The alarm is approved for NDIS funding, claimable under either capital, assistive technology, or core consumables, low-cost AT. Community care organisations are also able to claim through other home care packages.
Now moving on to, I guess, what's in the box now with the pendants. So when you do obtain the SmartLink Guardian alarm, just like all of our other alarms as well, there will be a standard pendant, or I guess a universal pendant that comes with the alarm. This can be interchangeable in terms of how you like to wear it, whether you choose to wear it around the wrist on a watch-like strap or around the neck on that safety chain pictured. The pendants also have a range of up to 300 metres, and they are water resistant. That actually reminds me of a story of my own grandmother. Now, going back quite a few years, let's just hide my grey hair.
Let's just
tell the story, yes. So many years ago, my grandmother had an older personal alarm. She had a pendant. She took that pendant off and went and had a bath. She actually did suffer from quite a severe stroke in the bath. Was very lucky that not too long after that had happened, one of her in-home carers arrived for a scheduled appointment. She found my grandmother unresponsive in the bath and then raised emergency assistance. Now, my grandmother did survive, but she wasn't the same ever since. So we weren't able to communicate with her. She wasn't able to recognise us or anything. I often wonder if she had her pendant on and was able to raise assistance or raise a call at that first sign of something going wrong, you know, what the outcome would have been, whether she would have been able to communicate better, maybe had a better quality of life. I'm sure you all, I know Lynn does as well, a lot of us here have similar stories. If you do there as well, tell your clients those stories, because that's what will motivate them to keep their pendant on, and that's really important. So yeah, using them in the shower is good. Now, I guess moving on to other options with our pendants, we also have fall detection pendants. Now, these are quite a common request. So with our Guardian, we have the Smart Fall Blue, which you can see on your screen here. It is a neck-worn pendant, and with this one, just because you're getting a full pendant, it doesn't mean that your client needs to wear two pendants. Absolutely not. So with the standard pendant that comes with the Guardian, we suggest using double-sided tape or even blue tack and mounting that in a high-risk area for your participant, whether that's in the bathroom, in the kitchen, in the lounge room, beside the bed, wherever you feel is the most suitable placement for that. We recommend doing that. So this pendant here, the Smart Fall Blue, is, I guess, a 2-in-1. So it's a fall detection pendant, which means that it will create an automatic alert on the detection of a significant fall. And it is also manual activation. So if your client has a small stumble, if they do have a situation that's not a fall and they do want that assistance, they just press that grey button in the centre, and that will raise a 2-way emergency call to our 24/7 customer care team. Now, this one is also a Bluetooth pendant, which will come into play a little bit later as we talk about some of the other offerings that we have. And again, is water resistant up to rating IP67 or 67, I suppose, technically. One of the other options for a standard pendant is this one here. So this is a SmartLink Square. This is a standard push button, so it doesn't detect falls automatically, but it is Bluetooth. And again, that will come into play a little bit later. This one again can be worn either around the wrist or around the neck, and again is water resistant as well. Now this one looks pretty similar to the one we spoke about just previously, but this is actually a different pendant. It's the 2-way vibrating pendant. So this one is again a standard push button. There's no fall detection on this one. This one is not Bluetooth. So it is just your typical standard pendant, but the feature with this one is that it has 2-way vibrating feedback. And that's really useful for those who are vision or hearing impaired, because they'll be able to have that tactile feedback when they press the button, and again, when the alarm receives that alert for activation. These pendants can be worn either around the wrist or around the neck as well, making them quite versatile. But Lynn, we have more than just our pendants. What else do we have?
Well, we actually have a range of additional accessories for the Guardian. First up on the left-hand side there, you see our wall mount pendants, and these are used for areas such as bathrooms, toilets, common areas, and pool areas. Then on the right-hand side, there's the Easy Press adapter that enables easy activation for those with low dexterity. The sleeve slides over the pendant, allowing the client to press the pendant with any part of their hand or arm. Unfortunately, it doesn't work well over our falls pendant because of the shape of it. But by all means, just talk to us if you have any questions on that particular product. Now, we have our blow switch, and this product is ideal for those who are unable to activate a pendant at all. For example, quadriplegic or those with very limited mobility. The blow switch communicates wirelessly with the alarm and allows monitoring of select third-party triggers, such as a spec switch or a jelly bean button. Now, on the right-hand side is our EIB 3016 photoelectric smoke alarm that can be hardwired through to the Guardian by using a transponder and a surface mount plate. Although the smoke alarm is mains powered, it also comes with a rechargeable battery backup for power outages. The smoke alarm must be installed by a qualified electrician and also meet the local rules and regulations for smokes in each state. Last but not least, we have our range of antennas to boost signal where required. Now, a standard screw antenna comes with the alarm. However, for added signal strength, we have the JCG paddle antenna that can be fixed to an external facing window by using double-sided tape. Both of these are our indoor solutions. However, where the signal strength is very low and there's not very much coverage, we do offer the Yagi omnidirectional outdoor antenna. This Yagi antenna does require a technician to install.
Now, with our rental stock, we do have the Guardian available for rent as well, but these two alarms on your screen here are exclusively in our rental pool. The reason for this is that they are 3G alarms, and I'm not sure if you're aware, but Telstra has announced that they will shut down 3G coverage by approximately mid-2024, and we are already seeing some signs of that phase out happening at the moment. So on the left is the Smart Hub 3G GSM alarm. This is a Tunstall made product that we have had for a few years. Again, all of our alarms come with that standard pendant. On the left, as you can see with the Smart Hub, is the grey one with the red button in the centre. That can again be worn around the wrist or around the neck on a neck cord. Now, the one that sets the part I guess that sets the Smart Hub away from all the other alarms is the Vibi. Now, the Vibi is a fall detector, and this is currently the only fall detector that we have available that you can wear on the wrist. On the right, you can see the Liberty 300, and if you've been watching, you may actually recognise those two pendants that are on the screen there as well. So just to give you a bit of a story, the Liberty 300 is actually the predecessor to the Guardian 4G. So it uses all the same alarms and all the same accessories as well. But on to our mobile alarms now for outdoor use, Lynn.
Yes. In our next session, we talk about our mobile alarms. These solutions support carers, families and end users, also lone workers utilising advanced technology integrated with the Tunstall monitoring platform. First up, I will talk about My Care Assist. This is Tunstall's first personal safety app. What is it and how does it work? This app is designed to work with either Android 8 and above or iOS 7 and above and has compatible pendants if desired. With individual ID access, GPS integration and easy SOS activation, the My Care Assist aims to quickly identify people who may be in need of assistance. In an emergency, the user activates the SOS button in the app and will immediately be connected to our 24-hour customer care centre, where a consultant will assess the situation and contact the necessary responders. Using GPS location details, the care consultant is able to accurately locate the user and direct the responders to the precise location. The My Care Assist app, used alongside a couple of our Bluetooth pendants that work with the Guardian, make this an indoor-outdoor solution. So by all means, if you want to know more on this, ask Cassie or myself later in this session, or you can email or call us later. The pendants that work with this app is the Smartfall Blue pendant is compatible only with Android, and the Square pendant, which is compatible with both Android and iOS, don't have fall detection. And lastly, who is it for? People likely to advantage from this app are older people looking for that extra security, those with long-term conditions or with physical disabilities, care workers, and also domestic violence cases, to name a few.
Now, My Care Assist Plus, I guess, is the biggest sister of My Care Assist. Now, it has all the features that Lynn spoke about just now, but it is ideal for probably a bit of a different audience. This one is actually for you. So this is for those who work alone, who visit a different location each day, or who, when borders open, travel. So yes, the way that this one works is that you can check in for either an entire shift or just for a single visit. So checking in, you click that check-in button on the screen, and you can set a time period for that check-in period, whether that's 10 minutes or up to 12 hours. The system will then pull your GPS coordinates when each button is being pressed or when you send a message through to update your location. And when checkout time approaches, the user, you, will receive notifications to remind you of the upcoming checkout time. If that time lapses and you haven't checked out, the system will call you automatically up to 3 times. If there's still no answer, then that's escalated to our 24/7 customer care team, where we will respond according to your unique protocol. You can also update throughout the day without having to check in. And this is a useful feature if you don't want to have to check in and check out for each client, but you just want to put like your entire shift there, saying, for instance, at 9 a.m. going to be at Eagle Farm, at 8 a.m., wait, no, 10 a.m. is going the right direction, Cassie. At 10 a.m. I might be at Pinkham Bar, for instance. It is also compatible with the same pendant. So again, the Smartfall Blue with falls detection is only available with Android phones, and SmartLink Square is available on both.
Right, now we have the Tunstall Go. The Tunstall Go pendant is a new wearable device specifically designed for obtaining assistance outside the boundaries of your home. The Go is a great solution for anyone who is looking for extra assistance anywhere 3G and GPS coverage is available. The device includes a help button, a hands-free speaker system, GPS location, and optional falls detection. The Go pendant comes with a hypoallergenic chain and a split ring, so it can either be worn around the neck or on a keychain, a belt clip, or if you so desire, in your pocket. The Go can also be put into flight mode for when you're traveling. Oh, that's when
it opens again.
When we can fly again.
Woohoo, come fly with me. Okay.
Our Tunstall Go is available for purchase and comes with a flat monthly fee. So once again, if you want to know more, just see Cassie or myself.
We also do have the Q&A feature and chat if you do have any questions you want us to answer at the end of the session. So if there's anything that's on your mind, just simply put them in there and we'll address them at the end.
The Tunstall Go is very easy to use. To activate the Go pendant, just pinch the little round section at the top of the pendant. The pendant will flash red to let you know that the call is going through. And whilst that call is in progress, the Go pendant is working in the background to find your location and sends this through to Tunstall. When the call is finished, the pendant will flash green. And just to let you know, the Tunstall Go automatically reports for 30 minutes, and after that, it automatically stops. Charging the Tunstall Go is quite easy as it uses a wireless charging system, and also it updates remotely while on charge. The charger is there on the right-hand side. I feel this is great technology. The Go's rechargeable battery will last 1 to 2 months with standard use. However, it is recommended to charge after an activation. The Go pendant is water resistant and is not affected when worn during any recreational activity, however, not for swimming or bathing, as it is only water resistant. There is an optional falls feature that can be added to the Go pendant. However, this feature is not approved for anyone who has a pacemaker or other cardiac implants. The charger too should be kept at a minimum distance of 25 centimetres from your pacemaker when you're charging your pendant.
Now, our other offering in the mobile alarm sphere is the Find Me Watch. This is a 3G GPS-enabled mobile alarm and doesn't actually look at all like an alarm. It looks like a watch. So it is feature rich, which means that it's able to be completely customized depending on the individual user. It's suitable, I guess, probably more for those who are suffering from some type of cognitive decline. And in the NDIS sphere, that generally indicates something like younger onset dementia, or even some forms of autism can cause people to escape as well. There are 2 ways that this can be monitored. So it can either be monitored by Tunstall's 24/7 customer care team, or with providing their own SIM, can actually be monitored just by friends and family. The rechargeable battery is probably around about an 18-hour battery life, so quite comparable to your mobile phone. So it does need a daily charge, but it's very, very easy to do with just a clip-in magnetic charger. It is splash resistant, so washing your hands and having a quick shower is fine, but submerging it doesn't like deep sea diving or going for a swim, unfortunately.
No.
With the GPS features on the Find Me Watch, there's a few features that centre around using this feature. So there's automatic GPS tracking, which will update its location automatically once every 10 minutes. And you can view the last known location of the watch using the online client console. There's a bit of a screenshot there. As you can see, when I took this screenshot, I was in Darwin. So with this online client console, you'll be able to view all the settings of the watch, whether you've got the geofence set up and how wide you've got that, what settings you've got set up, and also if you've got any emergency contacts that will receive SMS and or email alerts when an alert happens from the watch as well. Now, those emergency contacts are actually separate to what we have in our monitoring team to call if there is an activation. So if you do want emergency contacts on the what we call the intestines of the watch, just let us know and we'll certainly set that up for you on activation. Now, features of the watch, as you can see, this is just a small list of the multiple features that are available. But one of the most popular ones is the fall, or probably best described as an impact detection. This is more sensitive than the fall detectors that work with in-home alarms, such as the Guardian, for instance. And the reason for this is that this is probably more suitable for those who may be in wheelchairs or may suffer from softer falls, but still need that automatic detection. With the GPS, there's 2 alerts or 2 features, I guess, that centre around that. There's a geofence, which is basically a virtual perimeter around the home. Now, with that, when the watch discovers that it's outside of that boundary at any particular time, it will send through an alert to whomever is monitoring the watch, whether that's Tunstall or friends and family. Proximity alert is similar, but also ironically opposite. So a geofence is an exit alert, whereas a proximity is arrival alert. So let's say Joe Bloggs lives near a lake and you just want to make sure that he doesn't go near that lake if he goes for a walk. You can set that area, so the lake, as a proximity alert, so you will be alerted if he comes within a particular distance of that location. The Find Me Watch is also, in essence, a miniature mobile phone. So this is where we often joke about how our clients can feel like Dick Tracy or James Bond or Maxwell Smart, and you're going, Agent 99, you know, the eagle has landed, hello. We actually do have a client who refers to it as his James Bond watch, which is, I just think it's just beautiful. One of the other features that is really useful if your client, your participant, your relative, the wearer is not where you expect them to be, is a speed alert. Now, this helps you determine whether the wearer is on foot or in a moving vehicle. Another popular feature are the medication reminders. Now, you can have up to 3 of these per day, and they come through as both audio and visual reminders. So the audio will say something along the lines of, find me alert, it's time to take your medication as prescribed. There is also the option with the Find Me Watch to have a lockable strap. Now this requires 2 hands and an Allen key to get on and off, and is there just as I guess, extra precaution for those who are likely to fiddle with the watch and try and remove it when it's there for their safety. But I guess that brings us to the end of the content for today's seminar. Now we do have some questions, I understand, Hermione.
Yep, we have heaps of questions. So let's start with the first one by Kerry. She asks, what is the best choice of purse for within the home as well as outside the home or in the community?
That's a really good question, Kerry. So it's a bit hard to answer that in a general way, because it all really does depend on the individual needs of the participant. But if it was me and I was looking for somebody who does have an NDIS plan, but they're cognitively capable, they just want that extra peace of mind, I would probably recommend the Guardian 4G for in-home. Whether you choose to have the SmartFall with that as well, just as that extra precaution, again, depends on the needs of the individual. But for out in the community, I would probably recommend the Go, just because it doesn't track you actively. It will only track you when you activate the alarm, whether that's with fall detection or the button press. And it's also quite sleek and quite good looking. So that's probably my recommendation. But again, it does depend on what your specific client's needs are. But yeah, I mean,
it does stay charged longer.
Absolutely. It's got a longer battery life as well. If you do have specific needs that you want to sort of troubleshoot or shoot the wind with, and, you know, just have a chat with us, see what we recommend, by all means, contact us. We're very, very easy to chat with, I hope. We will.
Thank you, ladies. The other question has been asked by Emma from Action Therapy. Coverage for Sunshine Coast. How are we at with that?
So the coverage, I think we're talking probably about maybe 3G versus 4G perhaps with that one. The SIMs that we use in our devices are Telstra SIMs. So if you're wanting to know what the coverage is like in any particular area at any specific address, just use a Telstra coverage map. With our devices such as the Go and the Find Me Watch, as well as the Rental, Smart Hub and Liberty, they are all 3G. So you just need to, if you're wanting one of those alarms, just make sure that you've got 3G in the area you want to use it.
3G coverage.
Absolutely. The Guardian does use 4G with 3G backup as well. So make sure that you've got 4G in that area. If you do have the Guardian, for instance, and you do find that the signal's not quite as strong as you'd hoped inside, that's where the antennas that Lynn spoke about come into play as well.
Alrighty. So the next question is by Lauren. Do you have a non-monitored option or option where during certain hours, the call for assistance will go to a mobile number instead of the monitoring station? I have a few clients, she says, I have a few clients that live in granny flats and family in the main house, and they need falls detection. But when the family is home, that is at night, they would be preferred to be alerted rather than the monitoring station.
Same setup except for...
Yeah, so with this one, we don't have the flexibility currently with our alarms to change between monitoring options. It's either, like with the Find Me Watch, for instance, it's either completely self-monitored or completely Tunstall monitored. But what we can do is we can set up protocol. So if, for instance, during the hours of, let's just say 10 a.m. to 5 p.m, if there is a fall and the client is granny flats in the main house and the family is home for at night. So yeah, during the day when the family's at work, we can just handle it all at Tunstall and call emergency services if required, call emergency contacts, just whatever the protocol is for that particular client. But during the nighttime hours, we can call the family straight away and say, hey, you know, we've had an activation from your mum's alarm. She's in the granny flat. Do you want to just go check on her and make sure she's okay? So, I mean, but yeah, that's what we were saying before, when you can set up specific protocol and response options, just depending on what your individual needs are.
And our customer care team work within the guidelines of the protocol. So instead of you having to look for a non-monitored system, this is giving you the best of both worlds. We look after mum or dad in the granny flat during the daytime while you're probably at work. And at night time, the protocol is set up that just ring the family member at the main house and we just let you know what's happened and you can take over from there. So that sounds like a good setup.
So, the next question is by Helen. She's from that OT practice. She asks, I see DVA card holders in my practice. Is this relevant to them?
Absolutely. So we are also DVA registered. Now, Lynn and I don't know too much about the DVA sphere because we are NDIS focused, but we can certainly help. If they've got a gold card and you fill in the wrap form, there's a lot of alarms on there. And I do understand that if there's specific requirements for a client, you can do that on a quote, as far as I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah.
If there's extra equipment required, it can be done on a quote. And all of the products that you've seen on our show today are available for DVA participants as well.
Next question we have is by Lee. Thanks, Lee. He asks, when will we see a sleeker Find Me option?
That's a really good question, Lee. We are working with the manufacturers behind the Find Me watch for their new version to make sure that it is in line with what we want to be proud of offering at Tunstall. We are also looking at other options as well. So whether that is the new version of the Find Me watch, or we're looking at other mobile devices that do similar things, just so that we have a wide variety of offering, and that's a reliable offering as well.
Yes, and if possible, 4G.
4G, yes.
The next question we have is by Siobhan. She asks, what are the battery life of the GSM watches actually like? That is, how long can they be worn before needing to be charged? What the updated tries are?
Yeah, this is the Find Me watch.
Yeah, so good question, Siobhan. So our Find Me watch has an average battery life of around about 18 hours, and that's quite comparable to your mobile phone. So it does need a daily charge. Now, whether that would fit with your participants' care requirements, we can't say. That's again an individualized one-on-one type of scenario, but it is a very, very easy charge. It's just 2 hours with the clip-in magnetic charger, which I do have here. So just to show you, we've got the Find Me watch, which is upside down. No, that's the right way. Got the Find Me watch here with the clip-in magnetic charger. So charging is just as simple as clipping it on, and it's magnetic.
Yeah, and 1 to 2 hours in and around the day, most people seem to be able to work that time so that the participant can be without the watch for that period of time.
Yeah, whether you sort of time that with a carer or time that when there's somebody with the participant at that particular time, so that if something does, God forbid, if something does happen at that stage, they do have that extra protection. We do also offer our in-home alarms just through the NDIS, our in-home alarms as a deal with our mobile alarms, because we are well aware that our mobile alarms perform exceptionally well outdoors, but indoors can be a little bit hit and miss. So just ensuring that they have that protection, whether they're indoors with an in-home alarm or outdoors with an outdoor alarm, that's what we can offer for you as well.
So the next question is by Joanna. She asks, I have heard people have fallen, but the alarm has not activated due to how they fell. How can this be prevented?
That is a good question.
Yeah, that's a very good question again, Joanna. Now, with our fall detectors, the ones that work with the in-home alarm, whether that's the Vivi or the Smart Fall Blue, they are deliberately designed to pick up on significant falls. Now, there's a few different elements that work together to create that automatic fall detection. So it's not just an impact, but it's an impact with the accelerometer and distance, I think, from memory. So all those three factors have to be there for the fall detector to realize that it is a fall. If somebody has a softer fall, for instance, they lean against a wall and then slide down,
slide out of there, get up from the lounge and slide as they fall.
Yeah.
Or slipping out of a wheelchair, that's not an impact fall.
Yeah, it's not as significant. I mean, all falls are still significant regardless, but just in terms of detecting that with the automatic fall detector, it's not as significant for the fall detector to work. But that's why we always recommend, if you do have a fall detector and you're able to, press that button, so that even if you've had that significant fall, you press that button just to be sure that that alert has gone through. Obviously there's not going to be that one piece of technology that's going to work or do everything that you want it to do 100% of the time, but it is there and it does work.
So we have another question by Kylie. She asks, I am interested in the more recently developed GPS systems and possibly any updates on alternate access for alarms.
Sure. So we are always, and we are currently looking at new suppliers and new products. Yeah, with all these different types of mobile alarms, because yesteryear, let's just use that term, yesteryear it was all about in-home, but now we're looking more at that social inclusion. So we're looking more at going out and about into the community. So that's what we're looking at. So we've got the Go and we've got the Find Me, Watch and the My Care Assist apps at the moment, but we are looking always to expand that. So we have a team that's developed with our technical operations team. They're focusing on investigating and looking at what's out there and how that works and applies with Tunstall, just to ensure that we have what we need to suit your needs.
Yes, and the best products that we can offer. That's what we're looking for.
Now, in terms of the alternate access, I'm going to assume, Kylie, that you're talking about different types of funding. So we don't discriminate. I mean, here, Lynn and I focus on NDIS, but at Tunstall as a whole, we have home care packages, CHSP, DVA, private clients, TAC, the Motor Accident Commission. However your funding comes to you, even if it's just privately funded, it doesn't matter. We don't have any requirements for that. However, anybody who needs an alarm can get one.
Yeah, so please, if you've got any questions or referrals, please get in touch with us, because I said I'll talk you through what I do know and how we can help.
Ladies, would you like to answer some general FAQs as well? Because I've got some general questions which have been asked through the forms, just the basic FAQs. Would you like to answer them?
Sure.
Alrighty. So the other question they've asked is, you said we can't swim or bathe in the Tunstall Go. Can it be used in the shower?
By all means. As we said, this product is water resistant. So by all means, you may wear it in the shower. What I do suggest with it being inside the home, just check that you've got really good 3G coverage with inside the home to make sure that the Go pendant is working for you, because as Cassie mentioned before, it all depends on the area you're in as to what sort of mobile coverage you've got as to how the products are going to work.
Thank you. Last question, I think, will be, how easy is it to install the alarms? Can anybody do it, or do we need somebody specific to come and help us out?
Very good question, and it is something that we are asked fairly frequently. To be completely honest with you, if you can plug in a microwave and turn that on, then you can set an alarm up. So just to demonstrate, we have the Guardian here, and all that you need to install it is a dedicated AC power outlet in your wall, for instance. When you plug that in, the alarm will go through a couple of minutes of warm up. It will announce that the device is unarmed, in which case it's good to go. On the screen up here, there will be a number that indicates the GSM signal. The scale, I guess, of what's considered good coverage, medium and low is in the manual that comes with all the alarms as well. But there is also a screw-on antenna that just attaches up the top here. Screw that in, even if the coverage is good, because it just will give you that extra protection. And that will always come with the alarm anyway. So very, very easy to install. However, we obviously understand that some participants are not comfortable. It's new technology. Some people are not comfortable doing it themselves. They would prefer somebody who knows what they're doing to install it for them. In which case we can certainly arrange for an NDIS accredited and funded technician to attend their address to set it up, install it, test it, make sure it's working, and also explain to the family how they use it.
I think that's about it. Any other questions anybody wants to ask, please feel free. There's a Q&A option, so, or the chat button if you want to ask any questions. I think pretty much, ladies, if you want to maybe show some equipments or something, that's because we don't have any other bank of questions. But thank you all for asking such interesting questions. It was really insightful. Ladies, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Technical error. What we were just saying was thank you for attending.
Yeah, thank you for attending today, and we're hoping the less questions means that our coverage of the webinar has given you quite a lot of information to take away and come back to us with referrals.
Yeah, if you do want to contact us, that number on your screen now, 1800 079 758, is the dedicated number that will reach the community care team, which consists of Lynn, me, and also our colleague Mel, who looks after our HCP clients. But yeah, we've also got our email address there, very easy, ndis@tunstall.com. Thank you so much for joining us today, and Himani, thank you for hosting the session and facilitating everything for us. We hope you've enjoyed it. If you do have any questions, we will send through an email, a thank you email with a bit of a survey and links as well tomorrow. But thank you again for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much, ladies, for your presentation, and thank you all for attending. Please just fill in the short survey, which will be sent tomorrow with the recording of the session. Please share them with your colleagues, and we would love to hear your feedback for our future events. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye.